Hi everyone, it's Dr. Dave and I am coming back to you today with a lot of controversy and a lot of confusion. Aspirin. We've spoken about aspirin many times in the past and it has come up again in the media, and I am getting a lot of comments from my followers. Dr. Dave, what do I do with aspirin? I'm taking aspirin. Do I need to take aspirin? Am I going to bleed to death on aspirin? So what happened? Where did this all come from? So the United States Preventative Task Force, which is basically a group of doctors, healthcare providers who meet and look at studies and then make decisions and recommendations based on those studies. And a few years back, they recommended that a significant portion of the population take aspirin, both for heart protection, but also for colon cancer prevention. Now, recently, just this last week, it was published by the same group that people over the age of 60 who are being treated for primary prevention, which in plain English means they didn't have a heart attack or stroke or procedures on the heart, or they don't have documented blockages in their arteries, these people over 60 who have not had any disease that's documented should not be on aspirin. Okay, well, what does that mean? Who should be on aspirin? Well, I think that's more important. I think if you know who should be on aspirin, then you can argue that the other groups probably don't need to be on aspirin, or at least should have a discussion with their doctor. So, who should be on aspirin? Number one, people who have had what we call clinical events: a stroke, a heart attack, a coronary stent, bypass surgery, or blockages of the arteries in the legs. These are people who have clinical disease, they had symptoms, they had an event. They should absolutely stay on aspirin unless there's an obvious reason not to be. And if there is any concern in this group, you must speak with your doctor before considering stopping aspirin. Okay, well, there's a few other groups that should also consider taking aspirin. And this is the group where they did not have clinical disease, they didn't have a heart attack or a stroke, but they have what we call subclinical disease. And this is kind of what I deal with every day in the office. And these are patients who have disease, they have cholesterol building up in their arteries, but they didn't have an event, they don't feel anything. So who are these people? Number one, carotid plaque. Patients with carotid plaque should consider staying on aspirin. Number two, plaque or cholesterol buildup that we pick up on an artery on a CAT scan or an ultrasound. So you may go for a CAT scan of the lungs and then the doctor say, hey, by the way, an artery called the aorta, large artery in our body, has cholesterol building up. That group should also consider staying on aspirin. And finally, one of my favorites, the coronary calcium score. So it depends on the score, but in general, a score of greater than 100, I usually recommend, unless there's a reason not to be, that patients take aspirin. Now I'm going to tell you this, please, 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 if you are taking aspirin, do not stop it without speaking with your physician first. This is very, very important. I know it's very confusing, but if you guys just remember the above groups of people who should be on aspirin, it should be fairly straightforward. Okay, everybody, I hope that helps. Until next time, this is Dr. Dave. Hi, everyone. I hope that video on aspirin was helpful. And I just wanted to remind everybody that I partnered with a company called Save a Life. This is an amazing company. They offer free CPR courses so that we, in the case that we are around somebody who is in the middle of a cardiac arrest, we can all help out and try to save somebody's life by knowing CPR. So Save a Life, you'll check out the link below. And until next time, this is Dr. Dave.